Clint Eastwood had one superhero role in mind all the way back in the 70s, and it's one of the reasons that he turned down a chance to play Superman. It's because he held out for hopes to play Namor the Submariner. Way back in the day, before superheroes were anything really on film, there was a couple hits here or there, but largely they were still seen as campy and something not viable. We know, and it's been very well documented, that for Superman, initially they were looking at a big star because they believed a big name could sell the concept. Eventually, we know how it went, but Clint Eastwood was, as we know, somebody that was considered. Recently, he was in an interview, actually in a couple interviews, and he talked about this, and he reveals some interesting things. He specifically said that when it came to the whole concept of it, he told Hero Complex that, yeah, look, Superman in 1978, that was a thing. But that wasn't really for me. He just wasn't feeling it. In his eyes, he wanted to be someone else. And he said that the character he was interested in most was Namor the Submariner. But he didn't obviously get that because Namor took forever to get the film. I mean, he just showed up last year. So I know a lot of people are going to say, how stupid could he be? And revisionist history tells you Namor, worst character ever, whatever, or wouldn't have sold. Superman, biggest thing ever. Revisionist history and nostalgia blinds people. Namor, at one point, was one of the best-selling comics, just like Shazam. But different decades deliver different content, and there was a period of time where Namor, like Shazam, was kind of forgotten and left over because they couldn't modernize the character properly. And eventually, with the Fantastic Four, he kind of came back into the swing, and then in the 90s and 2000s, he really came back into his own. But there was this up and down. You could see how Namor never would have been a viable character in the 70s or 80s. It just didn't make sense. Superman, it's the most recognizable emblem on the chest of a superhero ever. So, yeah, that obviously would have worked, but he himself said it. That just wasn't for him at the time. He didn't think he could do Superman, which honestly, could anybody see Clint Eastwood as Superman? Yeah, probably not. Maybe in an Elseworlds story. So, it's interesting, but hey, now we know. His dream role was Namor, and it never happened. They should get him as Old Man Namor in like the multiverse just for giggles. That'd be something. 92-year-old Namor.